right, guys, are you ready to draw our piñata? So in honor of today, Cinco de Mayo, we are going to draw a piñata. I have a fear of piñatas and it stems from a childhood experience that I had with a very good friend of mine. She was actually my best friend at the time. And on her birthday party, they got piñata. And we are going to start with a curved line going down and just kind of bring out a couple little bump outs just towards this outside. That's just going to be the tissue paper. We're just going to add them kind of randomly throughout. And then I'm going to come halfway down over here. And then across the back, we're going to go curve and down with a nice straight line and then just bump out a little bit every now and then on here. And then in here, we're going to just do a nice straight line, a little bump out, not much, and a curved line. Now this line right here is maybe about 1 inch. This one's close to maybe 3. So this is only going up about 1/3 of the way. And we will come back over here towards his head and just kind of do a little line down there. And then we'll come down straight and you can even just kind of make your lines on the bumpy side, but try to throw in a couple of those, just having a little piece stick out every now and then. So it gives your piñata a little bit of that texture of having those little pieces of crepe paper that kind of just fall off of it. And I'm going to connect these two pieces with a curved line. So this is the base of my piñata. This is probably like the belly part, and this is just half of his head. So it looks a little funky because I'm trying to draw him somewhat 3D, probably the best that I can do on this kind of platform with a piñata. So I'm going to create a line there and a line there, and I'm going to bring this down diagonally. So I'm matching this drawing over here to double it up. This would be his nose. So I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 big nostrils because they always just look so darn goofy when you get them. And then I'm going to curve down. I'm following this line, and I'm going to come down and follow the line right here on his chest, but then I'm going to come in at an angle for where that part of his body would meet up. And then I'm going to draw in his other leg. Now this other leg has to be up higher than the first leg. So this leg is closest to us. This one's further away. So we've got to go up a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on his other back leg. So now he's got a little bit of a 2-3-dimensional shape look to him. It's not great, but that's probably about the best that we will get trying to draw something crepe papery. And I'm going to give him his eye, since I'm right there, give him his nice little eyeball. And then his tail should be pretty fun and easy. So you're going to make curved line, flat bottom, and then come back in. So you want it to be thinner where it's touching his body and a little thicker. And these are just strips of paper. So you can just kind of throw in how many ever that you would like coming off of his little tush. So I'm going to do, I think I have 5 right there. So I'm just going to throw in 5. I also don't have a lot of room, or I probably would have added a couple more. I'm going to come right down because he can't really be grounded onto the paper. So I'm going to come straight down with a straight line. And I am going down a little bit into him because this is his back. So it would kind of be around the middle of his back to do a, like a rope or something to help him be floating in the air. Now, you have a couple different things that you can do. You can either color him in layers, or you can add in the lines for where his colors would change. So I'm going to get a skinnier marker here, get like a real fine point marker. And I'm going to draw in just some skinnier lines to help mark out where and how I will be coloring him. So like right here, and I could just do like some zigzaggy lines. So there's like 1 row, 2 row, and I could just go all the way across. And I'm just working, I'm not going all the way across into that section right now. I'm just doing this section. And the eyes are always just, you know, taped right onto the top there or glued. So we can go right around that eyeball, and I'm going to end right here with his neck. So that kind of lined up really good for me. Now on this ear, I'm just going to go a little bit below because I want it to be obvious that that's another row. I don't want it to be just one straight line. I want it to be off just a little bit. It doesn't have to be off a lot, just a slight little bit to help mark out that it's a different part of the pinata. All right, so now I'm going to come across here, and you can make your lines as thick or as thin as you want. I'm trying to keep mine, I feel like, on a little bit of a wider range here, just so I can make it easier to color on myself. And I'm doing a lot of little zigzags. Remember, how many ever you do, you're going to have to color around those. So the more is not always the merrier on that. And I'm going to do 2 on this one, but I only did 1 there, and I did that, try to do that towards the middle. So here, I'm going to add just a little bit off on those. And I think for the most part, I've got in a pretty good range of different lines. So let's go ahead and color him. And I'm going to color and tell you my pinata horror story while we color. I was young. I probably not young enough, honestly, but my best friend at the time, she had a birthday party in a public park, and her parents got a pinata, and the pinata was huge. We were a bunch of, it might have been a mixed party, but I want to say it was just girls. But we all were softball players, and I guess I feel good softball players. Like, I feel like we knew how to use a baseball bat. And the weapon of choice to destroy the pinata was a baseball bat. And we all got our turn to swing that baseball bat to try to break the pinata. And when it was my turn, I got blindfolded. I got my baseball bat, and I was a very powerful hitter, always a triple or a home run every time I batted, and I was not a fast runner. So if I was a fast runner, it probably would have been a home run every time I hit, but I swung at that pinata with all of my might, and I kind of caught on something when I swung that bat, which now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't a bat, it was a stick. It was one of those sticks that you use to twist up the basketball hoops that have the nail at the end. Makes the story way better. So I took my nice big swing and caught on something, but I just continued to kind of push through and swing, and I did not realize that the nail from that pole was actually stuck on my friend's face, and I pulled all the way through and ended up injuring my best friend at the time. And oh God, it was awful. There was an ambulance. She was fine. I mean, it was, it was fun. It wasn't fun. I mean, it was awful. It was an awful experience for me, but I mean, they tried to make light of the situation and make me feel better. But oh gosh, it has traumatized me till this day. If I go to a party and they have a pinata, I want no part. I want no part in the pinata shenanigans, because I just remember swinging and just hearing her scream, or other people scream. Maybe it might not have been her. And she got a couple stitches in the face, in her eye. It wasn't in her eye, it was right above her eye, like by her eyebrow. And we made fun of it for a while. We still do. On her birthday, I will Facebook picture her a pinata card or something pinata-y, just to kind of poke fun at it. But I am still, as I'm sure she might be, very traumatized when it comes to pinatas. It is not my favorite thing. I remember, I think we went to Disney World, my family, and maybe within a year after the situation. And when we went to Mexico in Disney, my mom was like, you gotta get a pinata, get a little pinata. And I took the little pinata back, And when we returned to school, because, you know, you always give your friends your locker codes and whatnot. She was a year younger than me, so her locker was in a different part of the school, and it was easier for me to leave some books in there. So I had her locker combination, and I went in and put little mini pinata in there. And I mean, it's something, we laugh about it now. We are much grown adults. It's been a long time ago at this point, but trauma central. So if you're ever at a party with a pinata and you get that stick to swing at that pinata, make sure that you, when you're blindfolded, you yell out or ask and make sure that there is nobody around you, because that still haunts me a little bit. A little haunted still till this day of that experience. And my little son, he wanted pinatas when he was much younger at his birthday parties. That's all he wanted. And I told my husband, I will buy the pinata, I will stuff the pinata, but I am not going to be the one out there running the pinata. And we would make, the poor kids were so far back, when the candy fell, they had to like get permission just to go towards it. But you're blindfolded, you don't know. I mean, it is what it is. And if she watches this, I'm still so sorry. I am still so sorry, Jessica. But it was definitely an experience, and it was funny later in life, not so much at the time. All right, so I went through in rainbow orders. I have red, orange, yellow, a light green, a regular green, kind of a greenish yellow, like a darker greenish yellow, then a regular green, then a teal, then a blue, and then I think I'm gonna hop into purple. I only have 3 left, so I'm trying to make it so I don't have to double up any colors. At least I'd prefer not to double up any colors. So I think maybe I'll go with the darker purple first, and then I'll work backwards towards the light purple. That way it looks right. So my coloring on this is not the best, and tissue paper or crepe paper, what they use for these, is not really anything. It's kind of see-through. It's not going to make the coloring on, it wouldn't make the picture look if you had the pieces. So I'm scribbling, and I'm kind of okay with that, because they're just not really going to line up all that great. So maybe on my darker colors like this, I'm trying to be just a little more precise. But I'm not going to be a big stickler for it being perfect. So I hope everybody has some fun Cinco de Mayo plans. We're all trapped inside still, but maybe make a nice dinner. We're going to have tacos and just kind of enjoy more family time. I think that's the perk of this whole situation here, is that we are growing closer as a family, and it's kind of nice, you know. It's nice to be able to spend some quality time with some of the people you love. So I have 5 here, so I'm going to try to do 1 purple, 1 blue, 1 green, and I'm going to skip yellow, and I'm going to do 1 orange and 1 red. That way I kind of hit the whole rainbow on his tush there. All right, look at my little piñata. I love it. I'm going to try to add in a little bit of shadow here with some black, and hopefully I won't ruin it, but I do want a little bit of a shadow back here on this leg in the back, because the rest of that piñata would be casting a shadow there, as well as here, and on a couple other random places. So this kind of would be underneath, so we could add just on these more hidden back parts here. You can add a little bit of some gray. All right, so happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope that you guys had fun doodling this little piñata with me today. If so, please like, subscribe, and share the video, and I cannot wait to see you guys again. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.